What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I do have some good news to tell you, and it's good news for your wallet. I'm also going to break down some daily news that we got just this morning, so I'll address that at the end of this video. However, I do want to say I am going to try to make some changes. One of the changes I'm going to make is that I did a video this weekend and talking about more good news. Well, a lot of you guys like the idea of more good news, so here's the little twist, the little change that I'm going to be making. And do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button if you like this idea. But I am going to be giving you more good news. I will still be giving you the facts and going to be mixing in some of the bad news as well. But the little twist is it's coming with more of a good news feel and vibe. So same thing. It's all going to be the facts and news, what's going on, but I will try to deliver it with more positivity. All right. So today will be the first chance where I do that. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. But we do have some good news, and the first piece of good news is regarding gas prices. Gas prices are kind of going down. I want to address why that is and why it's good news for gas, but it's potentially good news or bad news for certain economies. We also have some good news for those that need prescription medications as well. So those are the things I'm going to talk about in today's video, and then I'll get into more of the daily news towards the end. So again, all I ask, spend just 2 seconds, go ahead, hit that like button, and let's continue. So first, what is the good news for gas prices? Well, gas prices have come down from the average of $3.88 a gallon. This is nationwide. Okay, this was a week ago. Now, gas prices are sitting at $3.79. Now, granted, a month ago, we were at $3.70, but this still shows that gas prices are somewhat coming down, and we're not seeing big ups and big downs in our current market. That's good news. Now, why are gas prices going down? Well, there's multiple reasons why. First, here in the U.S., we are still releasing 1 million barrels of oil from our strategic petroleum reserves until the end of this month. Got one more week. That's it, one more week. And then at that point, and this is something that President Biden is saying right now, and this could be good news. President Biden says that he plans on refilling the strategic petroleum reserve for between $67 and $72 a barrel, which is essentially putting the floor on the bottom of oil prices. Now, that is good if we can get oil for $67 a barrel, but some are saying it might not happen. That's a fairly substantial savings, by the way, because Brent crude right now is up over $90 a barrel. So we're going to save like $20 some, $25, $30 a barrel. That's substantial. But this also is a problem because the Biden administration says that they would wait. They would wait until oil prices fell to that $67 to $72 a barrel price point, and then they would buy it at that point. However, how long do we have to wait before we can fill up our strategic petroleum reserves? That's the big question. Now, here's one other thing. And again, this could be more good news, is if President Biden is putting a floor at $67 a barrel, for one, that's good news. But the White House is hoping that this will encourage U.S. firms to invest in oil production now before the price falls too much more. Here's the thing. The truth is that the oil industry is unlikely to significantly boost oil output. They're not likely to do that because one CEO said that the Biden administration is simply trying to walk a fine line between supporting his green base and trying to lower fuel prices. And he did neither. Here's what you need to understand. We have 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks before the election. Just 2 weeks. One of the problems that the Biden administration is facing right now, and Democrats in general are facing, is that they don't know how to bring down prices quickly, right? We're just not seeing it. We are seeing inflation across the board. Gas prices were going back up. Now they're coming back down. But is this only temporary? Some say this is. The good news is they're coming back down now, but what's going to happen in just 2 weeks? That's something that we don't know. And honestly, I'm a little worried to find out. But one of the biggest reasons why oil prices is staying fairly level right now is because of our supply. And it's not because of the supply in the United States. It's because of the supply in China. In China, demand has been demolished, has been extremely low. It's actually been ticking up lately, but it's still very low. Simply because China is still reeling from the past 2 years with dealing with lockdowns. That has created much less demand. So that's the good news there is China is still hurting as an economy. So for gas prices here in the US, it helps. But the problem is economically, for the long term, it's not a great solution. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. And let's talk about the next big thing that could be coming to help put more money back in your wallet or keep the money in your wallet. And this has to do with prescription drugs. Because on Friday, the Biden administration, they signed an executive order to instruct the Department of Health and Human Services to explore more ways to lower the cost of prescription drugs. That's good news. Now, obviously, there's already something in place, some movement here, because the 700 plus $billion Inflation Reduction Act. But hopefully, this executive order provides relief a little bit sooner rather than later. Because yes, even though we do know that Medicare can go and negotiate prescription drugs, the problem is the $35 for insulin, that doesn't go into effect for another 2 years. We also know the $2,000 cap for out-of-pocket expenses, for medical expenses. Well, that doesn't take effect for another couple years as well. So we have some issues there. Even though there's relief, it's coming, it's a little ways down the road, and most people, or many people, don't want to wait that long. So we're going to see what happens there. But according to this new executive order, this will mandate that the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, they provide an outline of how it will implement new models of care and payment to lower drug costs. Now, this must be done within the next 90 days. And again, this was signed on Friday. So we have a little bit of time here. The good news is the Biden administration looks like he's trying to put a little bit more pressure to get prices lower. But the only bad news is this actually going to do something? Or they can come back in 90 days and be like, you know what? Hands are tied, can't do anything because, well, that pushes us way past the election. So this could be a political game, but as of right now, it is good news that they're at least trying to do something. And now let's get to some of the daily news that has just come out this morning. First, we now know that the new UK Prime Minister will be Rishi Sunak. And this is after his rival, Penny Mordaunt, she dropped out of the race. So we'll see what happens there. We also heard from the Ukrainian president as well, President Zelensky, just this weekend. And he gave a very specific directions, okay, as to how Ukraine will negotiate with Russia moving forward. And he gave this statement. He says, the Russians, can return our territory to us if they want to negotiate. They must withdraw from our land the territory of our state. They must leave us our land within the internationally recognized borders of 1991. And then we will say in what format and with whom we are ready to talk. That is fair. In order to speak, you need to rewind to the moment when our states were speaking. And that was before the war, before 2014. And from that point, you can try to solve the issue diplomatically. Now, going back to the internationally recognized borders of 1991 is probably a non-starter for Russia. Okay, I don't even want to say probably a non-starter. It is a non-starter for Russia. Russia has no desire to negotiate. So Ukraine coming forward and saying, you know what, let's negotiate, but at the same time, give us back what has been, what is ours, but you took from us, decades ago. That's what Ukraine's asking. The tough part here is, if Ukraine really believes that Russia needs to give everything back, I don't know if they're really interested in negotiating. So at this point, and again, this is just based off of some of the research I've done this morning, it's according to experts, it seems like Ukraine is willing to continue this war and hopefully get and push Russia out of Ukraine and push them out of all their regions, right? Here's the only problem. Right now, the United States is investing a lot of money, a lot of resources into Ukraine. If this war drags on too much longer, and let's say into January, February, the problem is if after the elections, if Republicans win more seats in the House and the Senate, what we could see is there's no additional relief for Ukraine, or it's very limited and specific. If that's the case, then Ukraine might not have many legs to stand on at that point. So we're going to see what happens, but at least I know moving forward, there's going to be a lot of changes happening over the next couple weeks. Then after the next couple weeks, once we figure out who is going to be controlling the House and the Senate, then we're going to have a very clear direction as to where we go for the remainder of 2022. So as soon as I get more information as to what's going on there, I promise I will come back, let you know all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.